You're falling. What do?
Ooh.
You're down to 3 hit points right now.
I am barely kicking right now.
Prepare to die.
I'm taking this guy out.
Let's fucking go then, yes!
Oh, Anita.
Whack, whack, whack.
Ow, ow, fuck, ow.
Welcome to Ostoria, the largest of the cities in this grand world. We find ourselves stepping through the doorway of the royal greenhouse. Patrick, would you please introduce your character?
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome to Ostoria.
Welcome to Ostoria. Yeah, no, I don't have a robot voice. People look at me and assume immediately, he has a robot voice. My name is Absolom Kreeg. And I am a Warforged. Absolom Kreeg is about 6'7", 280, 300 pounds. He is the LeBron James of Ostoria.
I do want to say real quick, you did say 6'5" just a second ago, and
Absolom is about 6'5".
added 2 inches to your height.
I rolled a die, and it gave me. So
You have a superiority die.
I have a superiority height.
As a fighter, is that right?
That's right.
So talk to me about what your fighting style is. What do you like to use as a?
Well, I was a fighter for many centuries and never lost a battle. Ooh. Technically, and I am a sword fighter by nature. I carry a big old oak sort of. It's like you could surf on this thing. It's so big. I these days. I keep the sword on me, but I'm much more of a pacifist these days. I keep the shield somewhere safe, when I need it. Right now, I think I have it. Oh wait, actually, I have. There it is. I have the shield laid out with a bunch of succulents on it, under some. So that's a potting table right now.
Hey, that's all right.
That it's a nice flat, even surface, so it works. But the sword stays on me, even though I have not lifted it for about 100 years. Wow. I think that's the last time I lifted that thing for any reason whatsoever.
Now, this greenhouse, this is the royal greenhouse. This is the Queen's own greenhouse, and you've found yourself as the sole caretaker of this greenhouse. So you must have a bit of a green thumb.
I do. I learned the green thumb in the Feywild. Courtesy of, what are the little mushroom people called again?
A group of myconids?
Myconids!
Oh,
those guys, adorable. Adorable. So much fun. It was a little hard to get them to trust me at first.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. When I was made, they didn't really give us facial expressions.
No.
Or, allow us to move the eyebrows up. So I can't smile or, So it just looks like I'm permanently pissed.
You have like a resting Terminator face.
I have a resting Terminator face. Yeah. The resting T-101.
Yeah.
Yeah. But after a while, once you get to know me, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Besides,
if you can look past this.
The glowing red eyes.
Yeah. Which are meant to instill fear and chaos.
Now, this greenhouse is beautiful. It's not particularly large. It's the Queen's own almost private greenhouse. Yeah. When you walk in, you see kind of a shelf that extends all the way around a big rectangular room. Plants all the way lining the walls here. And then in the center, a large island that is kind of the experimental part of the greenhouse, where you've got all sorts of different interchangeable plants. Currently, what you have in there is a big wild batch of orchids. And then towards the door, there's some tomatoes and peppers, some normal fruits and vegetables, and then a couple of very interesting D&D specific plants. You got a couple of hold on. We see a little bit closer to the doorway. There's things like life root, which is a beautiful green leafy root vegetable. You see some winter's bite, some nightshade. Very interesting ingredients that you would use maybe to make different potions or poisons even.
I would enjoy that if I knew what it tasted like.
Yeah,
I could
but
eat.
As you're stepping into this greenhouse, it's a bit of a different vibe this morning. It was a beautiful morning on your way to the greenhouse, but when you walked in very early in the morning, the queen is inside. And she's not usually up this early, nor is she caring for the plants. That's kind of your job. And you spot Queen Rybeck on the opposite side of the greenhouse as you're stepping through the door. And she seems to be kind of leaning over the orchids and weeping to herself a little bit.
I would say something to the effect of, Your Majesty,
Absolom, it's finally you're here. I don't know what's gone wrong, but everything is dying. She says this. You look. The orchids are fully dead. All of the plants.
What are my orchids?
in this center island of plants, it seems there is a strange, almost red-black energy that is sucking the life out of the plants.
Lame.
Seems to be kind of creeping through and hasn't quite hit some of the more interesting. The life fruit hasn't been touched yet, but it is slowly creeping and moving and infecting the plants.
Okay. First off, we should get the fuck out of here.
She says, "Hey, but we must do something! Absolom, please, I don't know much about these plants. They're so pretty to look at, and now they're not."
I agree. Yeah. But first, since I have no idea whatever the fuck that is, your safety is paramount, so I'm gonna get you to safety first. We're gonna quarantine whatever this is, and then I'll come back and I will break out an old skill, honey. I will break out that old... No, don't start leaking again. This is some weird shit. Your safety first, paramount.
So you're trying to get her out of this greenhouse.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll a persuasion check for me to try and get her away from her dying plants?
4
plus...
Oh, plus 3. So 6. No, 7. I can't count.
She said, Absolom, there's no time to quarantine. We must deal with it right now. And I can help. She grabs a spade.
Not that one. Use the smaller one.
She shuffles. She doesn't know what the hell she's looking for. She's looking to do anything to try and save these plants.
Okay. Is everything in the greenhouse dead?
Not everything. The kind of like walled shelves around are not dead. The only things that seem infected is this center island.
Okay. And this red, black.
And specifically, it looks to be centered on the orchids.
On the orchids?
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor then, Your Majesty. Just step away from the orchids. Just, 6 feet.
Yeah.
I think that's baby.
Well enough. She absolutely steps aside and allows you the space to do your specialty or your work.
I'm gonna grab it out of her hand. I'm like, where's my trowel? She's got it. Thank you. So I've got my trowel. I've got my belt on already. I've got a trowel that she found herself, and I'm just gonna see what happens if I just toss it in there.
Yeah, it sinks into the soil, and the energy seems to be creeping up and around it, fully encompassing it. You almost don't even want to touch the handle now.
Okay.
As you're kind of like leaning in close, looking at this trowel as it kind of exudes energy, you hear a very, very faint voice. You think it's a voice. You can't quite tell. You think maybe getting a little closer to your auditory receptors. I don't know what's going on the sides of the heads of a Warforged that allows them to hear, but you think getting a little closer you might be able to hear perhaps a voice.
What does he say? What does it say?
Do you lean in a little closer?
Yes.
You hear, and it is almost not even... what's the word I'm looking for? Intelligible? It's intelligible.
Garbled
And just almost squeaky, like a chipmunk. Like just so... almost like there's something so tiny.
A little critter in there? Fuck!
You hear...
Okay, ow.
Very, very difficult to hear. Maybe leaning a little closer, you might be able to hear what they're talking about.
Maybe. I'm either going to hear this or go deaf.
You hear, as you lean in, and you feel the smallest dribble of spit on your cheek as the world grows large. Suddenly, in an instant, everything seems to grow in size 100 times the size that it was. And you look, and you are now falling what looks like 1,000 feet in the air, down right above the rectangular island. You're falling. What do you do?
Ooh. Well, I'm falling pretty fast. And I very quickly rip off the coat, and I try to turn it into as much of a parachute as I can just to slow this down for myself, because it's huge.
Yeah.
It's as big as me. I grab an end, and I try to flip it out. And it slows things down a little bit, and I'm like, okay, now we're sort of gliding.
We'll
this is good.
see. Why don't you make an athletics check?
Oh.
So this is your strength roll to try and see if you can, fashion a bit of a parachute here to slow yourself down. Almost rolling strength against the wind.
9.
9 plus 6 is 15. Incredible roll. You're slowing your descent a very little bit, but the nature of a 245-pound Warforged that's now seeming to be shrunk to the size, you feel like you're the size of an ant as you're falling through the sky. I'm going to have you make a dexterity saving throw. You're coming up on the life root that we were talking about earlier. Large green leaves that you're kind of aiming for to break your fall.
Life fruit. 7. I hit every branch along the way.
You hit
didn't
pretty
I?
much every branch along the way.
Or every root, rather.
Whack, whack, whack.
Ow, ow, fuck, ow.
Until finally you smack into the soil, taking 52 points of bludgeoning damage. You are not feeling good. You have 60 hit points, and you've taken 52 points of damage here. So you're feeling very, very bad. Luckily, you fell on top of life root, and as you're kind of smacked into the soil, you feel all of the kind of debris of all of the roots and leaves that you hit kind of rejuvenate you. And every rib and cracked bent metal part that broke suddenly begins to mend itself.
Thank God, it's like landing on marshmallows.
And you gain 47 points of hit points. So as terrible of a fall as it was, the life root has rejuvenated you back. Back up, what did I say, 52, you're at 55 hit points.
Thank God.
Out of 60. Not so bad.
'Tis but a scratch.
Was a terrible fall. Smack, smack, smack. Now you're feeling a lot better in this life root. But you are no more than the size of an ant. As you're looking up at these plants that you know so well, plants that you watered only yesterday, are now towering larger than trees.
Oh, so I'm on the table.
You're here in the middle of your own table. looking up at all of the plants that you care for.
Got it.
And the first thing that catches your attention is 3 infected aphids.
Oh no.
Not sure if you're familiar with an aphid, but they're a terrible little creature that likes to kind of be a parasite on plants, suck the life right out of them.
No.
And there's 3 of them right in front of you.
Oh crap.
And they're teeming with this gross red-black kind of energy that seems to almost be like ghastly over their exoskeleton. Really terrible stuff. They spot you. What are you doing?
I get up, I shake it off, I take one look at these things and go, okay, the pacifism thing is going to have to go out the door for a moment, because this is, I'm going to have to turn on the tactician's brain. I'm going to have to take them out. I'm just going to have to.
All right.
Because they are not looking too friendly.
No, they look pretty angry at you.
I, for the first time in 100 years, out it comes. A little rusty. I'm just gonna shake it out a little bit. You know, it's retractable. It kind of folds it
Tap
down.
it on a root a little
Tap
bit.
it on a root,
Yeah.
like, sorry. And, but it's there. It's solid. This thing will, you know, it's a little rusty, a little squeaky, but it still cuts and it's still sharp, baby.
3 aphids seem to kind of creep and crawl in your direction, getting on either side of you and one directly in front of you. They're each going to try and jump and take a little bite at you. And
Fuck they are.
One rolls a 19, which I actually believe is your AC. So one of them does hit you.
Ugh.
One of them rolls a 10, does not hit you. Another rolls a 7. So we've got 2 of them that go, and maybe they hit you, but they just bounce off of your metallic armor. But one of them manages to land a hit and is going to do 1 piercing damage as it somehow is able to kind of pierce part of your metallic flesh. So you take 1 point of piercing damage
In between the joints there,
and
yeah.
that puts it back on your turn.
Okay, ow. I'm gonna attack the one that's still kind of stuck to me, little fucker. 2.
Listen, these guys are not difficult to hit, but a 2, you whiff it. Maybe it's just too close to your body, and you've got this long sword that you're like,
Yeah.
can't quite hit it.
I get there.
As a fighter, though, you get to attack again, so you can try it one more time.
I'm gonna try for this guy one more time. 16, baby.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Plus, actually, plus 7 with your longsword here. So
20.
Fully hits it. That kills it. Will you please describe to me what it looks like when you
Okay, so
you
this
kill
little fucking black-red aphid ugly mofo is just kind of stuck himself in between the joints here, between my sort of my rib cage here. I'm like, no. No. So I dust off the sword, I whip that bad boy out, and one move. And in retrospect, I probably should have just tried to yank him out first, because it explodes. I mean, it is a mess. It is a gooey, yellowy, greenish, pukish grossness, and it's just like,
it pops
like a friggin' zit.
And this kind of like red-black energy seems to kind of spread itself on you. I'm gonna have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, thank God. 13.
13 plus 2 is 15. You save. The poisonous-looking, nasty, disgusting stuff slides off of your metallic body.
God damn, right.
Lands back into the dirt. Seems to kind of dissipate in a cloud of fumes.
Come at me.
The 2 other aphids, watching their buddy explode, are gonna jump at you, try and bite you. One of them, holy cow, rolls a 19. This is insane that they are making these rolls. The other one rolls a 17, does not hit. So one of them does hit once again, and does 5 piercing damage as it latches on maybe to your shoulder and just starts pulling at some of your joints here. Maybe trying to loosen a screw or something to do some damage.
Yeah, there's a little
The other one bounces off, doesn't hit.
That's my bad shoulder too, so I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 12 pissed. So
12 plus 7.
12 plus
19.
7, 19 seems to be our number, baby.
Fully hits. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
1
plus 4.
4.
So you do 5 damage. That kills it.
Good.
Describe to me how you get this one off your shoulder.
This one, I grab him by the face. It's like a tick. You got to get it by the face, otherwise you're just kind of pulling it off, you know. I'm like, and then I toss him at his buddy. Like, eat that.
Okay, that's very interesting. His buddy is going to make a saving throw and succeed as he bounces out of the way of his buddy, and it splats and explodes on the ground.
Ew.
And you watch that kind of like red black bile just spread across the soil, and starts spreading to more plants. This is an infecting kind of energy.
This stuff, man.
Yeah.
This is too much for me. 2.
Plus 7 is only a 9, does not hit. That puts us back at this last aphid's turn. He's going to take a bite at you, and he opens his mouth wide and opens it so wide he closes his eyes and fully jumps. Totally misses, lands right in between your feet.
Oh, perfect.
It is your turn.
Yeah. And I look down and I'm like, you missed, honey. 20, bitch.
Oh, no.
So I just stomp him into the ground.
Yeah, totally.
Like,
You don't
honey, you know.
We'll have you roll damage just to see what you get. So roll a d8 and then we're gonna double it.
8.
Oh my god.
Oh, pulverized, honey. Bye, bitch.
This thing only has 4 hit points. What does it look like when you...
Ceases to exist.
Yeah. I think you've planted it. This aphid is now...
Yeah, this one is
6
now
feet under.
part of the earth.
You have buried it all in one go. You killed it and buried it all in one go.
The plant is gonna love that.
Yeah,
They love dead bodies and stuff like that, so eat up.
You can feel the death around you of all of these plants that you know and love. And as you're stepping from the life root section of this little garden into you planted this a while ago because maybe it caught your interest. You were really interested in carnivorous plants, you know, as one is, and you can see it coming up.
I was predator and now I am prey here, honey.
This could be a little dangerous.
This could be a situation.
But before you make it into the carnivorous section of this garden, suddenly there's a voice that seems to come from your head. And you hear somebody say, "Hello, Absolom."
Yeah.
We are Anita.
Anita?
We are in the mycelium under the dirt. Out from the shrubbery steps a Amanita muscaria mushroom, a myconid, with a massive red with white spots cap, who it almost seems like a big hat. It's got 2 little eyes on the stalk underneath as it steps and looks at you. And you can see it doesn't have a mouth, but it's communicating to you as spores fill the air and as you're breathing them.
I am so glad to see you, let me tell you. I needed a friend down here. Can you explain what all this red-black stuff is?
An evil has befell our greenhouse. A deep, dark, evil man. He claims to know you and the queen. And he has laid out an evil poison that infects all of the plants. My colony wishes to offer its aid.
Awesome.
We offer our aid in the form of my flesh. And you watch as an arm kind of like falls or like rips apart from the stalk over its cap, and it rips its cap off. And the cap kind of goes as it lays on the ground. And it's got two little, like, things for you to put your arm inside and use as a shield.
Oh, thank you. So I pick this bad boy up and I'm like, give it a tap. It's like, damn, this thing is like granite.
This thing is tough.
This thing is tough, and it's solid, but it is super light.
Super
and
light.
Maneuverable.
Not only that,
Like it's
two little eyes pop up on the inside.
Ooh.
And you can see, looking right at you,
Creepy, but love it.
you can see Anita says, hello.
What the fuck? We have got to work on your communication skills, Anita.
I am here to...
Anita, work on your communication skills. Okay, don't throw up on me.
And you get to add +2 to your AC. So the shield itself grants defensive capabilities, and also Anita says, I can do many things and block many attacks, but there is one thing I can only do one time. Should you encounter a spell of any kind, and you choose to do so, I will absorb this spell and send it back at the caster, twofold. But once you do so, I will die.
Well, I don't like that.
My
But
spirit will live on in the colony. My red flesh will dissipate. Actually, I'd explode when that happens. It's really cool. To be honest, it's the best kind of death.
okay, well now I want it to happen.
Now it's a bit of a... We all kind of hope that's how we end our lives. Send
Splattered.
magic back at the caster.
Well, I love the idea of sending magic back at the caster because I do not care for magic. It's not my thing, so, thank you.
Now, I believe you know the way to the orchids.
No.
I must warn you, we must make our way through the carnivorous plants.
Yeah. Predator becomes prey.
Hello. Pardon the ad read. This episode is sponsored today by Wild Chaos Magic. That's right, the weave itself has been so generous. The only stipulation, of course, is that I roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. So, here I go. 56. Well, how about that? Now back to the show. Anita points you in the direction of these carnivorous plants. And you see, I mean, it is a jungle of just the nastiest Venus flytraps and some of those like butt bell looking ones where the
pitcher
flies-
plants.
Oh yeah, pitcher plants. And you see a bit of a path, but this is not. I mean, this is uncharted territory because nobody's charted it before. And as you're passing through, you begin to hear like almost faint laughing, chattering.
Eat him! Oh, yummy, yummy!
And there's nothing that's in your way immediately, but I think there's a few of them that you can see are maybe eyeing you. Nothing too serious yet, but why don't you make a perception check for me?
Yeah. Woo! 16, baby.
You see one of them is kind of creeping up behind you. And I'm going to have you make a dexterity saving throw as it's going to lunge at you, but you're going to make it with advantage because you've spotted it before it did it. So you're going to roll twice, take the higher number.
11.
That one's a 6, but we'll take the 11.
Plus 1.
12. Unfortunately, the Venus flytrap slithers around, fully scoops you up. You are totally engulfed in this now dissolving, and the kind of infectious black and red disease is also kind of encompassing this thing. It is fully got you grappled here. Make a Constitution saving throw for me.
18, baby.
Ooh, okay, you managed to keep your arms and legs close enough to your body that you're almost not touching the walls of this thing and not getting infected by any poison. But you're fully trapped. And you hear a voice coming from this plant as it says,
Nita?
I've got you now, buddy! Now, listen, the way this is gonna work, if you want out, you're gonna have to make me laugh real hard with some kind of funny plant pun.
Oh, God.
You're gonna get like 3 tries here, buddy, and each time I'm gonna try and infect you with my poison.
Why don't we just let us remain friends?
Well, that was okay.
Didn't like that one. Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
17, baby.
Ooh, yeah, you remain unaffected by the poison. That was okay, but I think 2 more, and maybe you'll get me to laugh big enough to let you go.
I mean, look, man, I've never been inside a Venus flytrap before. I've never met anyone like you.
Old chive like the old chive.
Getting close, huh, buddy?
Pretty good. Okay, all right. Hey, but make another Constitution saving.
Oh, here we go. 3.
Sorry, I must shake you up a little bit. And he kind of like moves over to the side, and your arm touches the side and feels
Ow,
this
that's
poison.
the bad shoulder, too. God damn. That's my shitty shoulder.
It stings so bad.
Ow.
Deals 10 points of poison damage.
Look, I'm not a cactus expert, but I know a prick when I see one.
And you fall right out of its mouth as it is, and all of its buddies are just.
Okay, great, thanks. Everyone laughing at my expense. Love you guys. You're getting ripped out first thing.
You break free of the grasp, and you are now kind of back onto the soil. Anita is inside
good?
your arm and says, "I'm fine.
Of course
it
you
doesn't
are.
bother me much. We should go, though."
Yeah, we should go. These guys are dicks.
Yeah, you sprint. You make your way out of the
Hell out of there.
terrible carnivorous plant section of your garden. Things are getting much more dead.
Ugh.
All of the plants around you now are fully zapped of energy. Just
repotted those.
losing all of its life force and all of its luster. Anything that would have had a fruit, pepper plants, some tomato plants, shriveled, dried, and dead.
Not my peppers.
No salsa this year.
Girlfriend loves her peppers.
I'll tell you, it's a real unfortunate thing.
Damn.
Anita and you press forward and push through the dead and dying plants. You approach and you come to a clearing in the orchids, and the ground is just covered in this black and red ooze goo, emanating, kind of like lifting and smoking almost from the ground and infecting every plant around it. And at the center of this clearing, you see a figure, a robed figure, kind of in a bit of a ritual situation, with a hand very close to the ground. What are you doing?
Hey! Asshole! What are you doing to my plants?
Oh, look who finally decided to show up.
Also, what is up with your voice?
What?
Did you swallow a helium tank? What is going on here?
Why does everybody keep saying this? There's nothing wrong with my voice.
You are nothing scary, and I am everything scary. And I'm the nicest guy around. You and I have got to... We've got to work on this.
You saying you don't remember me?
No!
Of course you don't. You and the Queen both.
casting me out of this city.
With that voice, yeah.
Wasn't for my voice. There's nothing wrong with my voice. First of all, you cast me out of this city long ago because I didn't have control over my magic. Well, guess who does? Me. Watch.
And he goes and he casts a fireball straight up into the sky.
You missed me.
Massive fireball, but like to the queen's perspective, almost a flare shooting up from the center of the greenhouse. Little tiny fire
spark
explodes in the air.
Ooh.
But in doing so, you notice almost a bit of chaotic energy sprout from the hand and like strike the ground.
Yeah.
And an act of chaotic magic. Wild, chaotic magic. This sorcerer, claiming to have control over their magic, shoots a fireball into the sky, and suddenly two, what do you even call these? They're called floofs. Jellyfish. Like two little floating jellyfish suddenly appear in the middle of this clearing and are just kind of confused as to why they're there. They're very tiny little creatures, and they're just kind of floating around. And they've appeared, and you can see he spots them, and he's like,
I have control over it.
Yeah, sure looks like it. You need to go now, and you need to make me big again, and you need to chill the fuck out.
Well, that's some crazy words coming from the frickin' robot that kicked me out of the city.
I'm not Shakespeare.
I'm here. I'm gonna make the queen rue the day she kicked me out.
And how exactly are you gonna do that?
I will infect every plant in this greenhouse and make sure that it spreads deep into the heart of the city and kills every plant in the city and in the city itself.
Oh, we'll see about that. Bitch.
Oh, you don't want to make me angry.
Uh-huh. I'm not worried. Anita, what do you make of this guy?
Anita says, well, it's clear they are disturbed.
Yeah.
Perhaps talking some sense into them will allow us to end this peacefully. They've only destroyed 4 plants total. Haven't really spread that far into the city.
We're not even off the greenhouse table yet, buddy.
Hardly a crime punishable by death, but at the same time, this is a very deadly poison that seems to have hurt most of my colony. Your call.
You know what? In the interest of your colony, I'm taking this guy out.
Let's fucking go then, yes!
Go, Anita. Fucking go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, also, bad guy, what's your name?
You don't even remember my name?
No.
I'm Phil. Chlorophyll. The Chaos Tamer.
Chlorophyll, the Chaos Tamer.
I'm here, and I will tame all the chaos, and I will kill every plant I come across, because I'm so angry inside.
Oh, I was angry inside at one point too, Chlorophyll. And you know what I did? I let that go. I went to the Feywild for a while and met some dudes like my friend Anita here. And they taught me that, creating life is much more fun than destroying it. Even when we've been wronged. Do you think that worked?
We'll call this either a persuasion check.
It's a persuasion.
Or a deception check. Is it are you trying to deceive, or do you feel like it's a persuasion check?
It's a deception.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
18, baby.
An 18, he's, for a moment, stops the ritual. And you watch that black and red kind of energy, that poisonous energy, begins to quell slightly. Everything's still fully infected, but for the moment, a brief respite as he kind of takes a moment of introspection.
How about we stop whatever this is, and you make me big again, and thus yourself as well, because, we're both here. We'll go to the greenhouse. We'll be in the greenhouse. The queen's right there. We'll have a nice cup of tea, a cup of Earl Grey, some oat milk, and we'll talk this through. Whatever it is, I'm sure we can find an amicable solution. For everyone.
I'll have you make a persuasion check here.
11 plus 3.
So 14.
Make you big again, and me big again. And the queen is here. The queen.
Oh, shit.
Is here.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Come closer.
No.
Big again.
No, I'm not going to do that.
The queen is here, you say?
We're not going to get big.
Come closer, boy.
Boy! Boy? Oh, no, I'm not. No.
Come on.
No.
Oh? Well then, prepare to die.
Phil gets to go first.
Okay.
And
Fine.
he is going to he's going to cast a fireball.
He's going to cast a fireball at me.
Big freaking fireball.
And I am not a tiefling, so
No.
that's
Not
gonna hurt.
magic. So you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
And I rolled. 1.
Oh no. A natural 1 means you fail. 25.
Jesus, so 48 minus
Fire damage as a massive explosion of fire kind of blows up right in front of you. It pushes you back. Maybe you use a knee to kind of
race
guard
it
yourself.
a little bit there.
But the fire just burns and singes parts of you, dealing 25 points of damage.
Ow.
Really solid hit, but what also might happen here is, just like before, this Chaos Tamer does not have the Chaos tamed so much. So for the next 60 seconds, suddenly ethereal music starts playing. Like suddenly strings out of nowhere.
Philip Glass.
Music begins filling this entire greenhouse. From
Ludwig Göransson.
Literally nowhere. And it's ethereal and crazy and creepy. And the two flumps that are there are kind of now dancing in the beat of the music.
Love a lot.
And he's, you can see he's like, getting angrier and angrier.
Keep making jellyfish. What is this?
Incredible. And now it is your turn.
I'm gonna take a swing back at Phil here.
All right. Yeah, you move forward and come at Phil. Please roll an attack for me.
15, baby.
Plus 7, 22. Incredible. That absolutely hits. Please roll damage for me. You also get a second attack here.
1.
A nat 1. That's all right. Doesn't hit. No damage done. But the first one, a solid chunk of a hit, does 5 damage to him. Kind of jabs him right in the shoulder, gets stuck a little bit, and you kind of yank it out. And you can tell he's almost like emanating this poisonous magic.
Oh, so it's leaking out of him.
It's in his heart.
So the more I
This
stab
is
him,
just terrible.
it'll just...
If you feel like you want to, you can action surge and do a whole nother round of 2 attacks.
Let's take him out.
Yeah, go for it. 2 more attacks.
16 again.
Incredible, plus 7
So 23.
to hit. Hits.
16 again.
Oh my God.
It's my number.
Incredible, yeah.
Sweet 16, baby.
2 hits now. So you're going to roll your D8 for some damage twice.
1.
Plus 4, so that's another 5.
1. Oh my God.
So, but you do 15 now total damage. That's
Okay.
That's a huge.
He's hurting.
A huge chunk of damage. What does it look like? What are you doing to him? How are you slicing and dicing?
I am moving, trying to stay out of range of his hands, just try to keeping myself either behind him or him in the other direction of me, facing the opposite direction. So I hit him in the back of the calf. I slice him across the upside of the thing. It's just, I'm trying to slash this guy, but I'm trying to create openings to let more of this stuff ooze out.
And we're back at Phil's turn. Phil is coming.
Phil.
And he kind of is finding within himself just this anger, and you watch as he tries and creates a massive ice storm. It's this huge 20-foot cone of just whipping cold winds. And you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
10.
Unfortunately, you're going to take 8 bludgeoning damage. And
So 23 minus 8.
another 12
What?
frost damage.
Oh.
Damage.
So I'm down to like 3.
You're down to 3 hit points right now.
I am barely kicking right now.
And it is pretty crazy. He cast this spell, and you watch as
Even Anita
chaos,
is like, you're fucked up, bro.
it's like, hey, you better pull your shit
fuck
together
up.
here. Anita is worried, but Phil cannot control this chaos.
Phil, see, this is why we kicked your ass out.
And I'm gonna have
You come to the farmer's market with the unstable magic, and you asses get sent to the Forbidden Forest. That's what happens, bro.
You watch as unintentionally he begins to levitate in the air. But it is your turn again. As a bonus action, you can start your turn by regaining some hit points and using second wind. So you get to roll a d10 if you want to.
So I'm rolling the d10 to get some hit points back. 10, baby.
Plus 5, yeah,
Plus
that's plus 15.
So I'm at 18.
Huge.
Woo!
Huge.
I'm breathing.
Great.
I'm breathing, baby. Woo!
And he's just, I would say, just 10 feet in the air. So, you can almost reach it. If you were to kind of jump and give it a whack, you can hit it.
I'm gonna actually pull a Hail Mary here.
Ooh.
I'm tossing the sword.
Whoa.
I'm gonna see if I can get it in him. 12, baby.
Plus 7. 19.
19.
Fully hits. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you have another attack, but because you don't have your sword, you've got your big old massive fists.
Yeah.
So
12.
12 again. Yeah,
Oh,
that hits.
baby.
19 hits.
I'm aiming right for the center, for the, where the most meat is. It was an old Hail Mary maneuver I used to use if something was coming at me and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I think both.
Shut that shit right at him.
That sword sticks, and then the punch almost kind of drives it a bit further into his body.
Pow!
Knocks
Pow!
him from out of the air back onto the ground. He's laying prone now.
Woo!
On
He's
the ground.
down.
We're back at Phil's turn. He's gonna have to use half of his movement just to get back up off the ground. And he's feeling really bad, very, very hurt. And he's gonna kind of be using the best thing that he can do, and he misty steps. So he disappears from in front of you and appears now 30 feet away on the opposite side of this clearing that you're in. So he's put some distance between you and him, and you can see he's kind of like trying to gather himself, pull himself together, and we're back at your turn. I think the sword, as he disappears, falls to the ground. So it's there for you if you want to
Let's get it out. Oh, good. Had enough?
Oh.
Offer still on the table if you want to consolidate, baby.
Why don't you roll a persuasion check for me? Or an intimidation check. I'll let you choose.
16 intimidation.
16 is nice. You can see he's tired.
Yeah.
Hurting. That misty step.
All your little fire and your aphids ain't amounting to much, is it, buddy?
It's working. Also, the flumps fully forgot to take turns. And they're just enamored by what's happening here. They're like, I forgot to even do a thing.
Thanks for the backup.
I am
back there,
sorry,
guys.
bro.
Thank you so much.
Both of them are like, dude, we forgot, man. We did not lock in like we thought we might.
Flumps, Anita, we're gonna have to work on names for you kids. Oh.
And you can see he turns and he looks up at you. He says, like hell. And he's gonna cast a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt, huh?
And Anita is gonna wink at you.
I don't want to, though.
And says, "It's okay." And the charge of electrical energy is growing and growing around his body as he goes.
I love you,
The energy, the electrical energy absorbed all of a sudden, sparking all over this massive fleshy shield that you're holding on to. Anita says, "My purpose!" And the electrical energy shoots back, bouncing right off of the shield and right back at
Phil.
right back at Phil, and does a lot of damage. And I'm going to have you roll this damage now, and it's all going to be doubled. 8d6.
This guy's getting wiped out. All right, so chlorophyll is about to end up like aphid number 3 into a state of non-existence. Yeah. 6, 6, 1, 3, 1, 3, 6?
6.
3. 24, 25, 26.
What does it look like when this guy takes all of this damage and then fully explodes? Talk to me.
This guy takes the damage, and at first, it hits him, it gives him that shock, and then he's just kind of there. Everything stops. He's just kind of standing there, like, ow, that hurt.
Yeah.
And then, kind of like a 5-finger death punch, it all just starts to boil out.
Dead.
And his head just kind of falls.
All of the red and black ichor that surrounds this clearing begins to fade into the sky as it dissipates.
My plants!
The orchids, being in a chokehold, suddenly are able to breathe, and some of the green of their stems finally comes back. And you see, laying there before you, is the burnt, crispy corpse of Phil. Chlorophyll. And unfortunately, Anita is gone.
Vaporized.
On you is just mushroom guts, and the eyeball is like just kind of dripping off. And you can hear, just in a faint wisp of spores, you hear in your head, "It was worth it. Radical." And
Yeah, bro.
and you're left to your own devices. You're still very, very small, size of an ant.
Now what do I do?
And you see the body laying there. The thing that you notice first is a small shimmering drip of saliva falling out of its crispy mouth.
Ew.
And you recall how you first became this size was Phil spit on you.
Motherfucker. I spit on him.
You spit on him?
Yes.
Nothing happens. It's disgusting. You spit
At
on
first.
him, and your saliva falls.
So I spit on him, and I'm like, oh. Okay, that didn't do anything.
Because it's not reciprocal.
Wait a minute. Who am I kidding? I don't have saliva. But I think I do, so I'm like...
Yeah, it was like just a small screw that... but the little drop of saliva from his mouth is there.
Great.
Almost shimmering and shining.
Well,
like
I'm going to have
made
to
of
do
magic.
something with that. I'm going to grab my sword and just kind of try to pick that off his face a little bit. Oh, his head kind of fell off a little bit there. Oh, that's just the bottom part of his jaw.
The second it touches your sword, you immediately turn massive, huge, back to your normal size.
Great.
6'7". What did we say?
6'7", standing on the table.
Fully standing on the table, and the table goes and falls onto the floor as your feet kind of mush into the soil. And the queen goes,
Girl, you think you've had an interesting day.
Where have you been? I've been looking all over. You were small. You went so small, and then I lost you.
You didn't think to get a magnifying glass?
I don't know what that is. I'm a queen.
Yes, you are.
I dug around and I looked inside all of the plants and I didn't see anything.
It's okay, girl. I still love you.
What
what happened? What is going on?
Do you remember chlorophyll?
What? Like for it's some,
The guy at the farm.
Listen, I don't know about plants that much. I do.
No, the guy. You remember the guy at the farmer's market who started like doing the swirly magic and it was blowing up all over the place, so we kicked him out of town?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, what a bastard.
Every
I
Friday
hated
at the
him.
farmer's market, he had the and he could. So we finally
should have kicked him out sooner.
I killed him. He's dead. It was all him. He made me tiny. He poisoned all the plants. Yeah.
My goodness.
So he's not a problem anymore.
Well, thank goodness. What a conundrum. What a pitiful thing. Such a terrible taste of revenge. It sounds. He was coming after me,
Yeah,
and you saved me,
I did.
my hero.
It's my job, hon. Yeah, I want to see a doctor. Yeah. I'm gonna go do a long rest. I'll see you Monday.
I thank you so much for your patronage, Absolom. You're so valuable to me. Come back when you're ready, and we'll get this place sorted up and back to its tip-top shape.
Right back at you.
Thank you so much for completing the side quest.
Yay! Yeah, Queen.
You did it. You did it. You solved the day. You solved the day. What is rest and recovery?
He's gonna have himself sort of a Wizard of Oz Tin Man moment, and he's gonna go to the scrub here, scrub there, and and they're gonna polish them all out, all that metal, get them all cleaned up. He's gonna go to the non-magic doctor, because
Thank you so much, Patrick, for being on this fun and goofy show. Congratulations on completing the side quest.
Thank you. I want to do another. I want to do 16 more.